VCA stands for Vietnamese Christian Alliance. So thank you. What was your name? Christy? Thank you, Christy. Vietnamese Christian Alliance. And it's a very new group that we've just announced is within the last couple of months, actually. And it's very new, and a lot of people don't even know that VCA exists as of right now. And if you take a look inside, there's hundreds of people here from all around different churches, from all around different states, parts of the country that are here with us to worship together. And I just wanted, before we move forward, I just want to give you just a brief kind of understanding and to come some insight into what VCA and who we are, and obviously why or where we came from, right? Because out of the blue, a couple months ago, VCA became a thing. It existed out of nowhere, and now we're here at a conference for the first time. So I know some of us, especially in the video, who's part of a Vietnamese church here? Vietnamese church, cool. And are you guys all kind of engaged with your ministry, youth? Yes, cool. Yeah, raise your hands. Who's involved with like children's ministry? Yeah, cool. Youth, English ministry? Awesome. Maybe worship, maybe? So a lot of us serve and are parts of different ministries within our own churches, right? But who knows what denomination your church was part of or who your leaders are? Do you know who your pastor is? Your dad's pastor? Your dad too? Your dad? Wow, we have a lot of PKs here. What's your dad's name? Say again? Oh, okay, Sufu. Awesome. And then, any other PKs here? PKs. Raise your hands, PKs. PK? Cool. PK? A lot of PKs. Yeah, I'm included as well, unfortunately. So, we all grow up with high expectations and all this and that. Everybody's asking, when are you going to become a pastor? All you PKs relate? Yeah, cool. When are you going to go to seminary school? All you PKs can relate. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody else, you're awesome too, okay? But going back to my point, my story, VCA, Vietnamese Christian Alliance, who's aware that we were also, before this point in time, we were part of a denomination called Christian Missionary Alliance. Who knew that? Raise your hand. Be honest, if you don't know, keep your hand down, that's fine. So keep them high, raise them high, please. Now take a look around. Only about half of us know what denomination we came from, right? Most of us came from churches that were part of CMA, Christian Missionary Alliance. Maybe some of us still are. That sounds confusing, but let me explain. About half a year ago, there's been a lot of problems and issues that have arisen in the Alliance, the Christian Missionary Alliance, within not just leaders from English ministry, but all the way up to the board of directors, right? In Vietnamese, they are what we call Ban chấp hành giáo hạt, okay? And unfortunately, as much as they all love to serve God, we all love to serve God, things just didn't happen the way that it should have. Now, there has been a lot of disagreements, obviously, and unfortunately it gotten to a point, I won't share the exact details of what exactly happened and why it came to be, but just know there has been a lot of conflict and disagreements within the leadership of CMA, and now we we went through a process after that, throughout the summer, into the fall, in the last 6-7 months or so, to find a new beginning for ourselves and for the people that don't find identity with that leadership back in CMA, right? And so we want to be able to, when we're, who here has a job, work of some sort? Why do you go to work? Because you're broke, okay? That's a legit reason, right? For financial income, right? For stability in that regard. Why else do we work? That's it, just money? Just money? Are you serious? Serve the country, okay. When you work for somebody or someone, do you work for that person just for money, or there's some other factors that go into that? What if you don't agree with what the company stands for? What if you don't agree with what your manager and how he runs things, right? You all worked with somebody, say management sucks, right? Management sucks, I'm out of here. Work a week or two, you all been part of a job or working a job for about a week or two, and then realize, oh, management sucks. I want out. 2 weeks in, training's probably not over, but you want out, right? So you've all been a part of a situation where you feel like leadership or management, whether it's a job, whether it's in school, maybe even at home, you think your parents suck, you think your parents don't understand you, but that's not the case, right? But you feel in those moments and in those situations, you feel like you don't belong. And so we wanted to provide a place where people can come and feel belonged and feel like they mean something to somebody, mean something to God in this case, or have a purpose, serve a purpose in their life. And so a couple of the pastors have then created kind of a team, a core leadership team now, and they have planned behind the scenes to build VCA to where it is now. So you'll meet the pastors, you meet some leaders, you kind of know their names as you go out throughout the weekend. But the leadership team, we have a team of, I can't remember, it was like 11, 12, 13, 14 pastors, something like that. We have a core leadership team of pastors that built the conference, built our organization to where it is now called VCA, right? And some of our churches have, unfortunately, what we call a split, and we have split, churches have split, ministries have split. But now, obviously, we all here together, serving together, worshiping together, diving into Word together, under the new organization called VCA, Vietnamese Christian Alliance. So if you want to know more about what happened, just because you're curious or just want to be transparent, we'd love to be transparent with you guys. Really want you to understand why we're here, what we're doing. And so come up and ask one of the leaders, and we'll definitely try and answer your questions as best we can. But just know that this is very new, and we need a lot of prayer. Okay, prayer it's so powerful, and right now with the new beginning, right? The theme for this weekend is a new beginning, right? And so when we go about this weekend, whether it's worship, hearing the Word, praying, hanging out, swimming, eating, drink, whatever it is, just know that we're here because God has a new plan for us, and God has a new path for us, not just in our ministries, not just in our churches, right? Not just in our leaders team, but within you personally and individually as well, okay? So pray for yourself, pray for your leaders, pray for your churches, pray for a conference as a whole. We definitely need God's guidance this weekend, and we really want to make sure that God really speaks to you and guides you in the path that He wants to. Does that make sense to everybody? Does that make sense? Cool? Awesome, yeah. So this is a brief explanation in a nutshell. Don't want to go into too much detail if you don't have to. Again, like I said, come ask. We'll do our best to answer. We'll be more than happy to do that. Okay, and before we move on, I just want to ask you a question. So who prays every day? Who prays every day? Raise your hand confidently. There's a lot of hesitation in that. Anybody not pray every day? Be honest. Okay, we love the honesty. Who doesn't pray every day? Be honest. Yeah, awesome. Right? Prayer, whether it's before dinner, before lunch, before breakfast, who prays before a test maybe? Big test? Awesome. Yeah, all the students raise their hand. Yeah, big test that's going on. Maybe you got a performance coming up. You want to pray that you do well, whether it's piano or recital, maybe we're singing, whatever it may be. Right? We always want to make sure we do our best, and a lot of us come to prayer for that, right? But how else can prayer play a huge part in our life? How else? In what other situations can prayer be applicable? What are some situations that come to mind? And no need to raise your hand, just shout it out. When do you guys pray? When you're what? When you're worried about somebody else? Yeah. What else? When else do you pray? When something good happens, right? Who prays when something good happens in your life? Who prays? Yeah, right? We all pray. What do you do? You say what? I thank you, God, so much for giving me an A on the test. Thank you for blessing me with a great family, right? Thank you for blessing me with this beautiful hotel for us to come together and worship God. Whatever it may be in your life, something good happens, we pray. What else? Life has good moments, it's ups. What else does life has? It's downs, and it's sad moments, and it's hard moments, right? Do you pray in those moments? You do? Do you really though? No, sometimes we don't. We neglect the power of prayer in times when we are blinded, whether it's be by emotions, circumstances, outside influence, right? So what other situations do you pray in? Pull from personal experience. When you pray about something, what is the emotion that you feel prior to praying? Hopeful. What else? What else? What else? What else? Say again. Guilt. You may feel guilty before you start praying, right? What else? Happy. Yeah. Any other emotions you guys can think of? Is confused one of them? Maybe? To some of us, we've been confused before. So we ask God for guidance, right? What else? Scared, maybe? We've all been scared. In our spiritual walk with God, we've been nervous, we've been scared, we don't know what's coming our way, things have been hard, so we're scared, right? What else? What other emotions do you feel before you pray, when you come to God in prayer? Desperate, disparity, right? Okay, what else? Anything else? Reason why I wanted to ask for a list of emotions was because we don't ever come to God with an empty heart, or with no feelings, or nothing in our heads. We don't really do that. Usually we come to God with some sort of feeling within us, whether we're seeking something from God, or we want to tell God something, ask God something, right? Ask for guidance. Maybe we want to tell God, God, why are things so hard in life right now? Or maybe why are things just so confusing? I don't know where you want me, God. I don't know what you want me to do for you, right? Where you want me to stand in your kingdom, right? But then there's also times where you just meditate, right? You just pray, you just come to God and ask him, God, speak to me. And you just sit there and just wait for God to speak. Right? There's a lot of different moments, and prayer comes in many different ways, right? And we all come to God in prayer with different hearts. We come from different places in different circumstances, right? The reason why I say that is because now we're sitting here together. We all have different backgrounds. We all come from different churches, different hardships in life, right? We've all heard different encouragements from your leaders, from your pastors. We've heard so many messages in our life growing up, right, in the church. But we don't even remember half of them, if that. Unfortunately, and that's the sad truth. But to look around and see, we're from all over the country. We come together, and we get to do one thing. Is we get to pray. And even further than that, we get to share our experience, our hardships, and our encouragement with every single one of each other here, everybody, right? And so, power is extremely prayer. I'm sorry, not power. Prayer is extremely powerful, even when you're by yourself. But it's even more powerful when everybody comes together for a collective prayer. Right, and so I want everybody today just to kind of understand the power of prayer. I'm sure we've all experienced the power of prayer at some time, at some point in our life. Right? Have you ever been transformed or gotten confusion cleared or sadness healed, pain healed, or maybe scared or anxiousness or anxiety or all of that just healed by God through prayer? Have you had those moments in life before? If you do, raise your hand. Have you had those moments where God has touched you through prayer, spoke to you through prayer? So you all understand the power and importance of prayer. Is that right? Is that a safe thing to assume? Yeah. So we all understand the power of prayer. So this weekend, we're really going to utilize that power that we have, the opportunity to come together and pray. Right? So we all came together here, so why not let's pray together. So again, going back to the conference in VCA, so many things are still lingering and confusing. So many things are still out of place. So many things are still unclear. Our future is unclear. But we have a God that will guide us and show us what we need to do and how we need to do it in order to bring His kingdom glory through what we do, not just today, not just this weekend, this conference, but moving forward from this weekend as well, week to week, day to day in your personal life. So with that being said, I want you just to group into your own churches, if you could. Look around, find your church, find your youth leaders, find your other youth members, come together and form a little circle, sit next to you. So just take a minute to do that.